Welcome to the KX Country Clubhouse, where today we are being joined by a very familiar face, Mr. Tyler Joe Miller. How are you, man?
I'm doing well, man. Doing really good. How about you?
Pretty good on this side of the screen. Now, listen, a lot has changed since we've last spoke. A lot on the business and the distribution side for you, but now you are
Yeah.
finally ready to introduce us to Tyler Joe Miller 2.0.
That's right. Yeah, it feels like a new chapter.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, being with my new management team, Republic Live, who those that don't know uh, own and run Boots and Hearts, which is pretty good festival. It's
I'd
always
say so.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's up there. And yeah, did a distribution deal with Orchard Music. And yeah, so this is a wild ride. Sometimes when you're looking to the next chapter and you're not exactly sure where you're going yet, it's like it can be a bit scary, but man, doors open and opportunities happen, and yeah, now we're just looking to put out just even better
Mhm.
music and go bigger, better, and yeah, I think we got some pretty cool tunes to kick off with, so I'm pretty happy about
Speaking
that.
of, yeah, it's an exciting day. Your brand new single, Broken Man, is at radio today. Tell us a little bit about this new tune.
Yeah, this one is a pretty special one for me, and I think honestly, I had this idea for Broken Man and wrote it with Reed Isbell and Blake Bollinger, and they're just great writers. And um, yeah, I brought in this idea. I had this idea of Broken Man, and I had a little bit of like a chorus and a little verse idea, and brought it in. And it's like, hey guys, I'm thinking about this kind of style of a song today. And I remember they went, I think it was Reed, went, oh, you got anything else? And I was like, oh, yeah, man. Like, what do you want? Trucks, girls, beer? Like, he's like, they're like, no, man. Like, we're screwing with you. Like, we love this idea, and I think honestly, it was something I just needed to hear because the song's basically, it's about how we're, as much as we try to be perfect and as much as we try to do our best, like we all hit speed bumps and we're human, right? And so it's like in a world that we live in now where like you are expected to be perfect, and if somebody finds one thing in your past that wasn't perfect, it's like you're done. And there's just so much pressure on everybody these days that um I don't know, it's just like it's paralyzing in a way. And so um yeah, so we had this idea of like, man, we want to do our best, and I want to try to be the best man I can be, but I'm also human, and sometimes you got to learn to give yourself a break. And
Mhm.
so that's basically what this song is about: is trying to do your best, but learning that when you fall down, like you still got to give yourself a break, and just try to do better next time. So it's basically what the song is about, and I think that I'm probably not the only one that has to hear that kind of song.
Is it true that Cody Johnson turned down this tune?
It was yeah, like there's songs that get put on hold
Sure.
thousands every single day in this town. And so, but yeah, it was on hold for Kojo, and he didn't end up recording it. And so we went, hey, I might as well do it. But yeah, it was like my first one I ever had like a US artist hold of being like, hey, we might put this out. And like I don't even know if he ever listened to it, but it
Mhm.
was at least put on by his label of going, yeah, we want to save this one for him. And so it'd be cool if he got his ears on it, but I have no clue. But it was in fact turned down.
Yeah, I was gonna say Kojo doesn't make many mistakes musically, but I think he made one here because this tune is incredible, and maybe you can play it for him at Boots and Hearts this summer.
Yeah, yeah. Hey man, you should have cut this one.
Yeah. See what you missed out on, bud?
Yeah.
Listen, TJ, where were you and what were you doing when you found out Spillin' My Truth just got nominated for a Juno?
Man, I was I was driving in my truck and um my manager Cassidy called me and she's like, "Hey," and she called on FaceTime
Mhm.
and I was like, "Oh, I won't be on FaceTime. I'm in my truck." And she's like, "No, can you pull over? Uh I kind of want to see your face for this." And I was like, "Oh no, like what did I
Uh-oh.
do?"
Yeah.
And yeah, and so I was like, okay. So I went and like pulled into like a Timmy's parking lot and turned on FaceTime. And I was like, what is going on? And she's like, yeah, congratulations, Tej, you got yourself your first Juno nomination. And I was like, I like in my mind, I wasn't even like thinking Junos. And
Couldn't comprehend
then
it.
yeah, yeah. And so
Mhm.
like and then I go and like look it up on like the like Junos are posting about it and it's like on their YouTube like stream and everything. I'm watching. I was like, okay, yeah, like James Barker, I get that. Kissel, yeah. Dean, Jade, yeah, yeah. All these guys. It's like Tyler Joe Miller. I was like, we sure about this? Like, but yeah, man, it was in my truck. Like that was where I ended up finding out, and yeah, I had to sit there for a little bit because like that wasn't in my mind at all
Right.
about Junos or nominations or anything. And so I was just doing just like running errands. I think I was like heading back from grocery shopping or something like that. And I was like, what the hell?
Talk about turning your world upside down.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish I could find out this stuff when I'm like in an appropriate spot or like
Mhm.
at my like home studio or like something like that where it's just like or my office, I guess. And
Yeah.
I'm not much of a I'm still learning how to like hit the knobs and do all that stuff, but let's call it an office, not a studio. Let's be real. But it's like, yeah, most of the time it's like I think a lot of people do forget too that it's like country artists are also just living their daily lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when the stuff comes out. So it's like, yeah, I could have been, you know, buying toilet paper from the grocery store and you find this stuff out. Uh,
Look, dude, we cannot wait to see you and your buddies, Andrew Hyatt, Sean Austin, at the Moose and Goose in Thorold. You're coming back to KX Country April 30th. What can we expect from this country mixtape tour?
a lot of shenanigans, I
And a few
think.
beers, I think.
And a few beers. Yeah. Uh, I'm in um Nashville. And so a few days ago, we had played Whiskey Jam here.
Right.
And
Yes.
so me and Andrew played and seeing each other's sets and stuff, we're just like, oh man, like this is gonna be fun.
This is going
And
to
so
pop off.
we're
Yeah.
yeah, we were hanging out the other night and yeah, just getting excited about it. And so yeah, Sean and Andrew just being like, we're all good buddies.
Mhm.
And we're just excited to get on the road. And it's funny too, because like not a lot of people would know, but like when I was getting into playing music, like I played two gigs playing guitar with Sean. And I think I got fired. I wasn't very good. But but I was grateful he had me on for two gigs. Uh, but yeah, like I've known Sean for a while, I've known Andrew for a while, and we've never gotten to do like they've played and done tours and stuff together, but like all three of us have never done something together. So it's three good buddies that are going to be on the road, and yeah, it's the mixtape tour. So I think there's going to be some covers in there, and we're kind of like it's a very nostalgic kind of thing. So we're thinking back to like,
Sure.
oh man, what kind of covers did we like? What songs did we grow up listening to? Like, what was on our burnt
Yeah.
CDs? Like, what were we listening on our Discmans to?
So, what was on your mix CD growing up?
A lot of Nickelback, um, and there was like 3 Days Grace,
Yep.
Three Doors Down, some 41. Obviously, had some Blink on there, and then got into some other like punk stuff like Reliant K. Uh, Back in the day, and a lot of like Metallica and um It's tough because I'm thinking of like the mixed CDs, but then even before that was like, oh no, I guess after was MP3s.
Yeah.
And like MP3 player, man, I had like Rancid and like
Or those mini
Motorhead and
remember
like
those little mini discs? The mini disc players where you could only have like 8 songs, and you try to narrow down your playlist to just 8 songs because that's all that would fit. Nowadays, you have, hundreds upon hundreds of songs on a playlist, you never get to them all.
yeah, yeah. I don't remember the mini discs.
Really?
I must have skipped that. I went Walkman, Discman, MP3, iPod.
There you go. Is that a
Yeah.
taco menu that you got pinned to the wall?
Oh, it is. Yeah. I haven't looked. I'm in an Airbnb in Nashville. I haven't even looked at this. But yeah, it's Taco Mama.
I was gonna say let's go through that menu. Let's grab some lunch, and we will catch up with you
Absolutely.
boys April 30th at Moose and Goose in Thorold, the country mixtape tour. Congratulations on all the early success on Broken Man, the Juno nomination for Country Album of the Year. Dude, we're so proud of you. You're welcome back in KX Country anytime, and we hope to see you at the Moose and Goose and maybe a couple of pops while we're there.
I think we have to. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. Tyler Joe
Well,
Miller, thank you so much for spending some time in the KX Country Clubhouse today.
yeah, man. Thanks for having me.